So, um, just to there's been a whole thing about the Rails front end system that's been kind of a big hot topic with what's been going on with Phoenix. I don't want to get into politics of this, but ERB templates, they're like an old sweater you keep on wearing. You're familiar with, full of holes, and it's there, you know. So they're a little slow, hard to maintain. There's no type safety or component encapsulation, and the developer experience is kind of meh. So it's hard to build consistent, accessible UIs, and that is why we started this library called Ruby UI. We based it on Flex. By the way, I'm Seth. Work at StateCert. Started this company 4 years ago, and I was forced to make decent looking UIs for my clients. So I've kind of, after coming from the back end, I've had to acknowledge this is an important topic. What is Flex? It's a Ruby native framework that replaces ERB completely. It's faster than ERB, you have type-safe components, and it provides Ruby, which we all like to program, I think. And you have good IDE support. So here's a sample thing of Flex. Here we have an H1 tag, and in the block it renders a hello world. You have all the Ruby syntax, so if there's an error with that, it's not gonna run. You're gonna get a bunch of errors if the HTML isn't correct. Now, here's a performance thing compared to view components in ERB templates. It's pretty quick. I'm not sure how up to date this is, but it's fast. So Ruby UI, it's a shadcn for Ruby. We've taken Flex and made a encapsulated or made it work with shadcn as smooth as we could. So here's an example. So here's a button. We have 3 variants. A primary one, we pass the text that's inside of the button into that block with a secondary and a destructive variant. That's what it looks like. And components are like Legos. So they fit together really, really well, just really nicely. Unlike IKEA furniture, they always have screws left over at the end. It just doesn't work. So a component-based architecture. Components they're completely reusable building blocks. Each component is completely self-contained. Components, they can be composed together, and everything is a component with Flex. So here's a sample drop-down component. This is our documentation site. Snag that piece of component and slap it into your view, and you get something like that. So we have quite a few components. Right now, we've focused a lot on accessibility using area attributes. We have keyboard navigation, screen reader support, focus management for input fields, etc. And a live demo. Let's see. So I built this 2-3 hours ago, and I think it should work. Screen mirroring. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, where's the type?
Yeah, right. It's somewhere here. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. So this is a sample Flex Ruby UI Rails app running Rails 8 with Tailwind 4. And I decided to just be stupid and have different branches for every feature that I have. So here's a show dialog. Some of the stuff is a little bit janky with Tailwind 4. We're still working on upgrading all that. We have full black and white support. Here's a sample command palette. Added some of the documentation here. I'm not going to go in depth with any of this because there's not enough time, but keyboard shortcuts work completely fine. Here's a form validation thing I worked on just earlier. Let's see if this works. So let's make sure this is not valid. Oh, that's not a. Oh, look at that. Okay. At least an empty state. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what was going on before. But yeah, this is basically a quick demo. See, here's a play. Actually, I guess I didn't link that up. So this is a playground thing for Flex. I'm still kind of toying with, but there's so many applications that you can use Flex with since you're using Ruby. Let me go back to the slides. So that's that Ruby UI. Oh my. There we go. That's the site. Documentation is live. There is a gotcha. We're not ready right now. There's been some breaking changes with Tailwind 4, so we're working on updating that. So if you do a Rails new and you have Tailwind 4, oops. But it's open source on GitHub, and PRs are welcome. We're working on it ourselves. We use it at my company in production. It's worked very well. There's a couple other projects in companies that have been using it in production. And if you want to hear more about this, we'll be talking about this at Vienna.rb in Brazil. So, and there's more. So George Kettle was the guy who started it. That's me. Seared Des is another guy who's really been helping out. Marco Roth helped us with some of the stimulus linking up. This UI library is not something where you reference the UI kit from the gem, but you extract the components and maintain things yourself. So anyway, that's it. So any questions?
Thank you so much, Seth.
You're welcome.
We got a question. Oh, we have the plural. It's questions.
Yeah, just because Flex 2 has recently come out, have you transitioned already?
Yeah, it's fully upgraded to Flex 2.
More questions? That was a lightning talk, man.
Okay, I didn't go back past 10 minutes, right?
Dude, we were like 5
Let's
minutes.
go.
Wow,
Let's
that's
go.
crazy. Any more questions?
Why is it so much faster? Why is it so much faster according to the to that benchmark?
So that's more of a Joel Draper question, the guy who made Flex. But so there, apparent from my understanding, Action View, the way that it processes things under the hood is the whole reason that GitHub made View components was because there's some problems with Action View. Marco Roth and I, we've been working on a project. I don't know how much I should say, but basically the way that it ingests things is just not very efficient. I think this is a whole nother topic of its own, but yeah, I wish I could go further into that.
You know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's do one more question. Oh, over here.
Test. Okay. What is the difference between Flex with Abra?
What's the difference between Flex and what?
Abra.
Abra.
Yes, that's like basically the same concept which is used to build the UI of ActiveAdmin.
The built-in UI of what? Oh, I haven't looked into that, so
Okay.
Sorry, I can't really say anything about that.
I think you're gonna have to give a talk about that.
I have used that stuff for years, so it's a painful UI library.
Well, the more reason to give that talk. Okay, let's
We'll
give
talk
another.
after.
Yeah, let's have another round of applause for Seth, please.
Thank you.